up, everybody? Oh, just a second. Let's do this. All right. All right, I'm just going to wait for y'all to come on here. I still got no one. There we go. Matt, thanks for watching, man. Thanks for coming on. Matt, I'm just going to wait for some people to come on, and then we're going to dive into this topic pretty quickly tonight. Brian, thank you for watching. Guys, tell me how your day was. Let me know in the comments. Brian, I'm just going to wait for some people to come on here, and then we're going to dive pretty quickly into this topic tonight. All right. Brian, I know I've talked to you. Where are you? I think you're stationed somewhere right now. Where are you stationed again? Like I want to say Japan. Let me know in the comments. Zakia, what's up? Okinawa, currently at the gym. Nice, awesome, very good. All right, I'm gonna let a few. Okinawa, Japan. Okay, I was right. Good. I thought it was Japan. I know I've talked to your wife on Facebook too, and I could have sworn. Yeah, I knew it was somewhere not here. Awesome. Matt, patient gave me 2 free movie tickets, so I'm having a great. Awesome, nice, good to hear. All right, guys. Well, I'm just gonna get. There we go. We got some other people coming in. Ryan, what's up, man? How are you doing? Thank you for watching. I'm just going to wait for a few more people to come on here, and then we are jumping right into this. I'm not going to waste too much time tonight with getting in right into this topic. So I'll be back stateside in a month and a half. Awesome. Very good. All right. So we've got some people on. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So basically what I've been doing is my wife and I are planning on moving in September, and I've got somebody taking over my practice here in Denver, and I will be moving back to Texas with my family. And basically, I started to clean out my entire office, and I've got notebooks after notebook after notebook, and I found a notebook basically actually right here, this old ratty thing from 2017, and this thing is literally full of like what I did that first year. I was always writing things down as I was learning things. I was always trying to figure out what the best way for me to grow my practice, because I basically kind of jumped in and I saw no other way about it. I had to jump in, and I had to go down part-time in my home health position. And so I had to figure this thing out quick. You know, my wife was depending on me for income as well. She was helping with income at the time, but I had to figure out how to get clients into my practice. And so the main thing that I want to talk about tonight is, as I was going through that notebook there, I kind of came across 3, and I'm going to give a bonus, so basically 4 ways that I used back in 2017, so 3 years ago when I first started my practice, to basically build it up to what it is right now. And so this was like the starting point, and I had a lot of success in the beginning of my practice. So I figured, like, if these worked so well for me, there's absolutely no reason why it can't work for everybody else, right? That's how I always try to look at everything. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, but again, you know, I would expect it to work for others as well, but you've got to find out what works for you as well. And so for me, in the beginning of my practice, it was a lot of this kind of see it if it works kind of thing, because I had nobody I have no clue what I was doing. I didn't know what I should be doing to grow my practice. I was basically just trying things and seeing if they worked. All right. So number one, very, very apparent when you really, really think about it, but this is not something that a lot of people are doing. And so for the 4 of you watching right now, I want you to think about your avatar, your ideal client, okay? Number one is attend events that they love. Not attending events where you think that you can get clients. It's attending events that they love, that those patients love, that those clients love. And so if your avatar is runners, attending running events where you're going to find runners. For me, when I first started my practice, it was small business owners. That's how I started this whole thing with working with executives and CEOs. Is I started with actually just wanting to work with small business owners. And so for me in Denver, the initial starting process was thinking of where in Denver can I get in front of as many small business owners as I possibly can. And so there was a lot of different things with that. So there's Small Business Week here in Denver. There's Entrepreneur Week here in Denver. There are shared workspaces here in Denver that a ton of people work out of. So I basically started off with those 3 places, and it was events for small business owners, events for entrepreneurs, and basically events that I could get in front of those people in different ways. And so for those of you that are just coming on, a whole slew of you just came in. Number one is finding out who that avatar is and attending events that your clients love. Not events that you think you're going to be able to get clients, but attending events that your clients love attending. So my example before was if you want to see runners, attend running events where they're actually going to be at. So for me, when I first started, it was small business owners. I had to figure out events that small business owners were at so that I can get in contact with them. It was one of the best ways for me when I was first starting my practice to actually get in contact with these small business owners and get in front of them on a regular basis. And so I would meet them. I would contact the ones that I jived well with. I would basically further follow up with them to continue to build a relationship with them. It was very simple. But it was basically all starting with attending events that my ideal client loved. And so another one was, I found a lot of different networking events that just were small business owners and entrepreneurs because I knew I could find them. There was a club called 1 Million Cups here in Denver that I would attend on a regular basis, and I actually spoke at. And it was where basically small business owners got together and shared their ideas. And so I was a small business owner, so I got together and I shared ideas with them. And I started to build this client, these people that would follow me. Just by simply going to the events that I knew that I could find them, the events that they loved going to, I started attending these things like mad, like absolute mad, right? I went to every single event that I could find in my area. If a small business event was happening, I was there. And it drove my wife nuts because like every single night during the week, she was like, oh my God, you're going to this at 7 p.m. this night, this at 8 p.m. this night, this here. And so I had to really, make sure that I had time for my wife as well. But I became obsessed with going to these different events where I could find these people because it was working. I was getting in front of these small business owners on a regular basis, and I was meeting them, cultivating these relationships, and quite a few were then magically asking me to be their PT just by being thoroughly interested in them and how to grow. So I'm going to give you guys a tip. This is number one for those of you that are all coming on. Number one is attend events that your clients love. And so when you meet these people, I'm going to give you one tip. Lots of people ask me on a regular basis, well, Josh, when we meet these people, what do you do? How do you develop a relationship with them? There you go. Russell, you just asked it. Like that's what people ask me on a regular basis. This is it. This is the golden tip that I want you to take from number one. You meet these people, you get in front of them, you're automatically going to jive with people, and you're automatically not going to jive with people, right? You're going to jive with some people, and then you're going to meet some people and just be like, wow, I've got nothing in common with that person. And they don't even seem like they want to be talking with me. And so those people that you really, really jive with, you really, really feel like you connect with, I would connect further with. And I would basically get them outside of that event. And I would say, hey, let's meet for coffee. Or, hey, you're dealing with an injury. Why don't I just get you in for a free evaluation? Or, hey, and I actually did this quite a few times. Why don't we meet for a beer? It was just this general, like, small business owner to small business owner relationship that I created. So I met them where I knew I could find them, and then I established relationships with them. But here was the golden key: is when you're meeting with these people, you've got to be able to be more interested in them than what you're actually doing. You've got to be way more interested in them and how you can grow their business than you getting clients. And so my number one question that I would always ask all of them was, how can I help grow your business? So we meet for the first time and they tell me about their business and how amazing it is and that they're growing it, and it's like they're bootstrapping it and they're really excited about growing this thing. The number one thing that I would ask them is, how can I help you to grow your business? And it was usually simple things. Well, send me clients if you come across people like this. Or like my stuff on social media, share my stuff on social media, or attend this event that we're going to be putting on. Ask them, how can you help them to grow their business, and then freaking do it. Do it. Like if they tell you to share their stuff on social media, then your goal in the next month is to follow them on social media and share their stuff. If their goal is to if they're a beauty supply company and they need women to go to that, when you're in front of women on a regular basis, with whether they're family, friends, tell them about that person. Because all it takes is you sending one referral to that person, and you're going to get like 2 times that back, because that person is going to feel obligated to basically follow up and maybe give you a referral. So that's the first question, is how can I help you to grow your business? And then this is just human nature. This is how it works. You ask them that, they're 9 times out of 10 going to ask you as well, how can I help you grow your business? Since you asked, how can you help? I mean, how can I help grow yours? And this was always my answer. It was not the generic answer of send me clients that are my avatar. It was this. It was, who can you connect with me with that would be a good connection for my business? Who can you connect with me with that would be a really good connection for me and my business? That's a completely different answer than, oh, just send me clients, because most people are not going to follow through on that. But what I did know is that most people know someone that would be a good person for me to connect with. And so I would always ask people at this event, and that was the number one thing I was trying to get out of it, was, who can you connect me with that would help me to advance my business forward? Who can you connect me with that would be a good person for me to connect with? And from there, from that one simple thing, I still remember some of these people. I met a CEO of a nonprofit. I literally had coffee with a CEO of a nonprofit. I remember sitting across the table from him at Starbucks, and he was in his mid-50s, and he was sitting across the table looking at this young guy in his late 20s at the time. And I remember him looking at me like, how the hell did I get connected with this kid? But we ended up having the most amazing conversation, and I still have connections with that guy today. That all happened because I asked the question, Russell, that you just put up there, who can you connect me with that would be a good connection for my business, and not asking for referrals. I just wanted to make connections, and this is what started to happen to my basically my network in Denver. It just slowly grew. And my inbox, my email inbox was constantly getting full with, hey Josh, I want to introduce you to this. Hey Josh, I want to introduce you to this person. Hey Josh, I want to introduce you to this person. Constantly. It got to the point that I literally couldn't control it, and I had to basically start picking and choosing who I actually wanted to connect with, right? So that's number one. Attend events that your clients love, But then be tactful about it. When you meet with somebody that you really, really jive with, ask them the question of, how can I help you to grow your business? And then when they reciprocate that question to you, ask, who can you connect me with that would be a good connection for my business? All right, there's number one. Number two, some of you that are on, some of you are kind of doing this slightly already, but I want you to take this up a level. Attend events in your specialty. So attend physical therapy events. Attend events in your specialty area in physical therapy. Attend events where you're going to be able to get in front of other practitioners in your area. Find events. And so again, whether that's events where, I don't know, different practitioners, different health professionals are meeting up in the area. Attend events like that where you can get in front of other health professionals to basically network with them and let them know what you do. And again, your main focus should be, hey man, you've got a chiropractic office. How can I help grow your chiropractic office? What are you guys looking for? What do you guys need to continue to grow? Oh, cool, you own a massage therapy studio. What can I do to help you grow that? What can I help you do to expand your business? Is there anything that I can do? Oh, awesome. You own I don't know, you own an acupuncture place. I met a lot of acupuncture people. How can I help you to grow that? What do you feel like you need? Oh, you need a social media presence. Maybe I could just like and share the stuff that you do. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great, Josh. That'd be really cool. And then again, when they reciprocate the question back on you, okay, well, what can I do to grow your business, Josh? Well, hey, who could you connect me with that would be a good connection for me? So it's the exact same plan. Harold says, what about attending sort of similar events? Strength and conditioning events, dietitian conferences, exactly. It's all about getting in front of these connections. Like, lots of us are not willing to build these connections because it's looked at as a long-term play. But I'm telling you, like, this is the way to develop a completely solidified practice in your town or city. Is if you have a web of connections, then you are able to have a self-sustaining practice. That is the only way, in my opinion, to have a fully self-sustaining practice as a PT especially, is if we start becoming what I call in my course networking ninjas. We've got to be networking ninjas. Like, we have to learn how to network. We have to learn how to communicate. We have to learn how to tell people what we want. We have to learn how to serve people first and get second. We have to learn those things that a lot of salespeople know, but we don't know that as physical therapists. And so become a networking ninja, and you will succeed. So number one, attend events that your clients love. Number two is attend events in your area of specialty. So physical therapy, strength and conditioning, whatever your area of like expertise is, attend those events so that you can then network with local professionals in your area that can be amazing referral sources. But again, attack it with how can you help them to grow their company first, and they're going to reciprocate that, and it's going to come back on you tenfold. Number three, this is one that I think a lot of us don't do, and we all have the opportunity to do. And this one really, really helped me to grow my business a lot. So these are in no particular order, but number three is simply speak at events. And so you know that 1 million cups kind of event that I told you guys about, where a lot of business owners get together here in Denver. It's actually a nationwide kind of like thing for small business owners. It's called 1 million cups. I spoke at that, and I got a patient from that. I spoke to about 50 different business owners about my business at 1 million cups, and I got a patient from that. And I got a lot of traction with people telling other people about me because I spoke at that one simple little networking event. Lots of people diss BNI in these networking groups. Well, what about if you get in and you make connections and you speak at those events? Every single one of them, every single week, they'll have somebody speak at those events. What if you could make it a goal to speak at that event? What could that do for your practice? So, one thing that a lot of people, that quite a few people have done in my coaching program is speak at the YMCA or do some type of speaking at a library in your town. The library and the YMCA are two places that will allow you, without a doubt, to spread, education and knowledge. And so it's the perfect place, whether you're talking to one person or 20 people, it's the perfect place to speak. And so find areas where you can speak at. So whether that's seminars, guess what another good one is that a lot of us do? Workshops. That's why creating workshops are so great. That is basically a speaking opportunity. Workshops, podcasts. Getting on a few key podcasts was really crucial for me growing my business. Get on podcasts that would help in your industry. I already said it, but library. The 5 that I have written down are seminars, number 1, workshops, podcasts, your local library, and number 5, YMCA. So those are 5 local speaking opportunities that you could start doing that, right? Brian, I have not done webinars yet. Lots of my webinars are basically done on Facebook Live. So I have not done an official webinar yet. No, I haven't. So yeah, find places to speak at: YMCA, BNI, podcasts, libraries, seminars, workshops, networking events. Anything that you can find to have the opportunity to speak. Those 3 things. So, like I said, I'm gonna share a bonus here in a second, and this is gonna be contrary to some beliefs out there right now too. But number 1 is attend events that your clients love. Number 2, attend events in your area of expertise. So, physical therapy events, other local events, but then also maybe non-local events, SSPT. These big events where you're going to find physical therapists at. Russell, BNI is Business Networking International. It's like a large networking group. They charge like $600 a year to be a part of a BNI chapter. And there's a lot of people out there that talk negatively about it. And I honestly think it can be a great thing, especially if you get the opportunity to speak at one. So. Denise asks, how do you ask to be on someone's podcast? I don't have the courage. I wish I had a much better answer than this, Denise, but it's basically simply telling them that you have something to offer to their audience. Here's how, and I'd love to be on your podcast. I have a lot of people that reach out to me on a regular basis and just tell me that they'd like to be on my podcast. And guess what? The majority of the time, we usually put them on the podcast. If somebody feels like they have something to add to basically that audience, then yeah, just ask. Just ask in basically leading with Denise that, look, I have something that can help your audience, and I'd love to be able to share it with them. So, all right. I don't think there's any other questions. Does that make sense for everybody so far? Give me your favorite one so far of the 3. 1, 2, 3. Give me the one that you feel like would be the number one that you feel like you need to start implementing starting tomorrow, starting this week, or starting next week. Which one do you feel like you need to implement right away? Let me know before I get into the bonus. Easier said than done. It is. But honestly, Russell, sometimes it is just asking like that. I know it's easier said than done, but it really is just having the courage to ask. Attend local events, 1. So attend local events for both of you. Yeah. 1 for Katie as well. I mean, honestly, attending events that my clients love gave me the opportunity of having around 4 to 5 active clients in my practice before I went full-time into my practice. Just by attending events that my clients love and connecting with people, but connecting with people in a better way, not leading with how am I going to get as many clients as possible out of this, but leading with how can I attend this event, really learn a lot about a lot of different people, and basically connect with people and ask if I get the opportunity of somebody asking me the question of how they can grow my business, help me grow my business, then I'm going to tell them who can you connect me with that will be a good connection for me. It was basically by that one simple thing is how I basically built my practice to having around 4 to 5 clients active in my practice, to which gave me the confidence to jump full-time into my practice. That was it. It was nothing else fancy. It was like I said it was nothing like beefing up my website. It was nothing, improving my SEO. Those were all things that came later when I had the cash flow to do it. And that's one thing that gets me really pumped up about all this stuff out there is gosh, like, let's get the cash flow in so that you can do some of those things. But those are not the things to start with, right? And so, anyway, before I go off on a tangent, I'm going to basically go into my bonus. Number 4. Lots of people talk to me about messaging and social media messaging. If I had to go back all the way to that 2017, in the very, very beginning, this is what I would do. I would not be all over every single platform. I think that's dangerous advice from the very beginning. I'm going to say that again. I would not be all over every single platform. I think that's dangerous advice to give to a person who is just starting their practice. What I would do, and what I consistently do now, but I'm growing because I've grown in my practice. But if I'm all the way back at the very, very beginning where some of you are in your practice, I would pick one social media channel. One. And make sure that you're optimizing that to the best of your freaking ability. But trying to be on Facebook, trying to be on Instagram, trying to be on YouTube, trying to be on Google, like trying to be on all of these different platforms at the same time while you're working a full-time job, I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen a single person that's able to do it. But yet you see all over that we need to be on every single platform in order to become present on every single platform. I think that's true. But you've got to be able to do that when you gain traction. When you are first starting your practice, you've got to be able to pick one, just one platform, like LinkedIn, Harold, one platform that you can stick with and you can become an absolute master at optimizing yourself on that platform. Stick to one platform and you're going to have a hell of a lot more success than trying to become present on all platforms. It's almost the same thing that we say with marketing. If you try to help everyone, you're gonna help no one. It's the same thing with social media. If you immediately start out of the gates trying to be on every platform, you're gonna reach no one. But if you can choose one, Facebook, and you want to become really good at Facebook and attracting people on Facebook, let that be your focus. If you want to choose Instagram, become really freaking good at being on Instagram. If you want it to be LinkedIn, Harold, be really freaking good at attracting people on LinkedIn. And if you want it to be YouTube, then go all in on YouTube. But I'm telling you, this thing of shooting at all 4 or 5 of these platforms is crazy. It really is. Like, we're going to burn ourselves out. If you're starting your practice, that would be my advice for social media. That's why it was the bonus. So let's go through those things. Number 1, attend events that your clients love. Number 2, attend physical therapy events or events in your specialty area. Number 3, find areas to speak in your local community, in your local city, in your local town. Find events to speak at. Seminars, workshops, podcasts, YMCA, library. There are so many different places to find opportunities to do that. Lots of times we're just not looking for them. And then the bonus, number 4, was especially if you're in the early stages of your practice, one platform, one messaging platform, one message. Really dial in your message on one platform to reach that audience. But trying to shoot out to too many different platforms is going to make your message ineffective. So that's it. Now I'll just answer questions. Any questions, I'd love to answer them. I've got, we grinded through that in like 30 minutes. So if you've got questions, let me know. David says, one avatar, one platform. You got it. I agree with you. Thanks for the LinkedIn tip. You bet, Harold. Absolutely. GT has said, pick one. You just have to be awesome at one at first. Exactly. So GT preaches the exact same thing. And look how much success that GT has had. You've got to be good at one to start. You do not worry yourself about being good at all of them right to begin with. This is what my girlfriend has been saying to me all along. Hey, Harold, listen to your girlfriend. She's got some good advice. Russell says, I've been doing everything completely backwards. Well, hey, Russell, let's do this. Let's change that after tonight. Like those 4 things, that can literally be your guide going forward. When are you going to hit the 10 monthly clients live? Well, I didn't know that was one that you wanted, Russell, so I'll do that. Is that something you'd like me to talk about and how to basically get 10 monthly clients on a recurring? Okay, good. One of the No BS Wednesdays, I'll do that for sure, Russell. When attending local events, what should one provide for those interested? David, do you mean like those interested in your in your service? Oh, Russell, I do remember. Yes, I do. I'll do that. I'll write it down right now. But David, when should one provide for those interested? So those interested in your service, I would basically, honestly, it's simple. I'd offer them a free evaluation. If somebody's interested in your service, we should waste no time on getting them on your schedule. And the best path to getting them on your schedule is a free evaluation, because I did last No BS Wednesday about this. We should never, I just don't understand. I understand the insurance model with making somebody pay for the initial evaluation, but if somebody doesn't know you yet, why should they pay for the initial evaluation? It makes no sense. So I would offer them a free evaluation and say, hey, let's just get to know each other and see if I'm a good fit. I'm a good fit for you and you're a good fit for me. That's exactly what I would do if I met somebody at a live event. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to give them like a lacrosse ball with your branded logo on it. Nothing like that. I would just offer your free advice and say, hey, come, let's set up an appointment. Let me get you on my schedule. And I would absolutely love to treat you, I'd absolutely love to basically meet with you and find out if I can help you with your problem. No, Russell, no. So I explained this last week, and if you guys want me to get into this, I can, but it would not an eval and treat. So eval and treat, where do you guys think that has come from? Go and put in the comments. Where has eval and treat come from for us? So eval and treat has come from doctors. They give us that script that says eval and treat. There you go, Harold. There you go. Doctor referrals. Okay. So eval and treat is something that's come from doctors. It's come from insurance. Right? Yeah, we have to build more units. And so, in my opinion, we need to get them in first to see if we're the right fit for them. So that is going through an entire full evaluation with them. For me, it's taking the first 30 minutes to just relax and sit down and talk with them and chat with them. And if they want to tell me about their family, that's fine. I just want to get to know them. Then I get into actually a structured evaluation. And then the third part of my free evaluation is I lay out a complete detailed plan of how I'm going to be able to fix their problem going forward, going through my 3 steps in my practice: mobility phase, stability phase, and strength phase. Only if it applies to them. If strength phase only applies to them, then we'll just talk the strength phase. But I'll lay out a complete plan with them, literally written on paper, right next to them, usually sitting at their like their kitchen table. And this is going to be the plan. This is what's going to get you to where you want to be. And so your job in the evaluation is to figure out what their goals are and what they want to be able to do. What is that emotional goal for what they want, why they're seeing you? There's one for every single person. If it's a shoulder injury, they want to be able to throw the ball with their grandkids. Something like that. There's always something like that. We just have to be willing to dive deeper with our patients. So we talk with them first. We do the structured evaluation, full structured plan, number 3. Full structured plan. And then, this is the part that I want everybody to understand is we shouldn't be able to move forward until they decide if that's the plan they want to use or not. We should not move forward. They need to decide if they want to move forward. And if they tell you, yeah, that plan looks good, That $1,600 plan of care looks good to me, Josh. Let's do it. Then that's the only time that I'll eval and treat, is I'll actually treat them in that first visit. Because they've paid. They've decided that that's the plan that they want to stick with, and I'm the guy that's going to help them to get them there. But I would never, ever, ever treat before they decide that I'm the guy for them. Like, we've got to decide, is this plan going to work for you? Is this what you want? Is this going to get you to where you want to go? If it is, then good. Let's do this thing. Let's take care of payment first, and let's move forward. What if they keep skirting the offer on a phone call because they're too busy and don't know when they could, but will blow up your messenger with a ton of questions? How do I get them to commit or just pass on them? Like on a phone call, they're passing up a free evaluation? Is that what you're asking, Jason? I would basically tell them, like, look, I want to get you in for a visit for an entire hour, and I want to figure out your problem. And I want to give you an entire plan moving forward that's going to be able to fix your problem. And I want you to find out if I'm the right fit and then you're the right fit for me as well moving forward. I want us to figure out in that 1 hour long visit if this is the right plan for you moving forward. Is that something you'd be interested in setting up? So, I would continue to let them know, Jason, like the value that they're getting in that one visit. They're getting a full evaluation. They're getting to know you better. They're getting to figure out what the plan is moving forward to fix their issue, and then ultimately how much it's going to cost for you to fix it. I would continue to push on them until they commit to that free evaluation, Jason. I think that's the answer to your question. Corporate BS wanting more units, yeah. Harold asks, how often are these prospective clients not a good fit, and how do you determine that? Yeah, so that happens. And one of the biggest game changers for me was understanding that patients needed to be a good fit for me too. If like there's somebody I don't want to work with and I don't think I can help them, then I need to tell them that. I'm not just going to tell them that they're a good fit so I can get money. Like I only want to work with them if they're a good fit, right? And so that happens. Not frequently, but I'd say it's happened a handful of times, probably less than 5 times, Harold, but it's happened. And I've had to tell patients that maybe, and I actually help them with that process too, Harold. So of those 4 or 5 people that's happened, I've basically in that free evaluation said, hey, I don't think you're actually a good fit for my practice, but I do know of a clinic down the street that I think you'd be a good fit for. And so I help them there too. Talk about yeah, exactly, Denise. Russell, okay, boy, I need to understand more about that 3-stage plan: mobility, stability, strength. Russell, so go back and watch my live from last week. That'll go into all of that. David says, in discovery sessions, I usually address what their fears are first, which typically address overall objective, our structure before even go. Yeah, exactly, David. So you got to figure out that fear first before you can move on. That if you can understand that fear, you have the ability to sell them on your plan of care, because you now know what that true. Everybody's driven by fear, and so what is that fear that they fear will happen if they don't get this fixed? My newest patient that I have, we'll just call her Renee. Her fear, I picked up on it immediately. And she kind of glanced over it and she said that she goes on a lot of vacations. And every single time she's on vacation, any of the active stuff she just doesn't partake in because she knows that her back will flare up. And she was going to Alaska with her family to see her son. And her son is very, very active. And she said, I know that I'm just going to have to sit back at my house. And so what I did was I started digging in further. So Renee, tell me about that. How long has that been happening? What do you feel like, what do you fear is going to happen if we don't address this right now? Do you feel like this is going to get worse and worse and you're just never going to be able to do those things the rest of your life? Yeah, I do. Do you feel like that if we don't correct this problem, that you're never going to be able to do some of those active things with your kids ever again? Yeah, I do. And it was at that point that she started to cry. And she started to tell me more. She started to tell me more and started to tell me more that this is a deep-rooted fear. This is a deep-rooted problem. And so we get to the end of the evaluation, and she says she didn't even know that I was a cash therapist. I don't know how she didn't know. She was referred to me. And she said, so you take insurance, right? You take my insurance. And I said, no, I don't. And she had that look of shock on her face. And I immediately, I didn't miss a beat. I just immediately said, I don't take insurance, Renee, but you just told me, and actually, Renee, you just got really, really emotional telling me and started crying about how badly you want to be able to fix this to stop this trend that you see going forward, to stop this problem that you're having moving forward. That just happened, right? And so I was bold enough to ask her this one question. So she had just gotten that emotional, and I literally just asked her, is there that, like, this is worth the money to you, isn't it? Like, this would be worth, like, I basically laid out about a $900 plan of care for her. And I said to her, like, is $900 worth it for you to start making progress towards stopping that thing that just got you so emotional? Or would you rather try and find a clinic that is going to basically take your insurance and maybe not get you to that point? Which one do you feel like you want to do? And this was after I laid out an entire plan for her, and she was like, well, everything that you laid out, I think, is what I've been looking for. Everything that you told me, I feel like, is what and she told me this one important thing, and that I want you guys to be able to take away from this, is she said, I've been wanting someone in the physical therapy world to tell me that they could fix my issue for a long time now. I'm going to say that again. She literally told me this. She said, I have been looking for someone to confidently tell me that they could fix my issue in the physical therapy world for a long time now. The only reason that I saw you is because I had a referral from my doctor. And so I literally confidently told her, Renee, I will make sure that we can work towards those goals, and I want to be the one to make that happen for you. If we can start trending in the right direction and start working towards those goals, are you willing to pay cash for these visits and kind of override the fact that you didn't know that I was a cash therapist? And she said yes, and I've been seeing her for the last 4 weeks now. And so we have to be. This is getting into something that I was on a coaching call with one of my students today. We talked about how confidence actually does sell. And now a lot of patients, actually all they want is for us to tell them that we can fix them, and to lay out a confident plan of care that will show them that we can fix their problem. But a lot of us don't have that confidence in what we're doing, or we don't have enough confidence in what we're doing. And so I think the main thing to be able to sell these plans of cares to patients is we've got to deliver it confidently to them. Because I know every single one of you watching, the 15 of you watching, I know every single one of you are willing and able to give above and beyond service, above and beyond all of the clinics in your area. I know every single one of you has that capability. Every single one of you, or you would not be in this group. You would not be trying to get to start your own concierge practice. I know every single one of you has that ability. And so we've got to be able to confidently portray to our patients what we're able to do for them. But for a patient to say to me that she's been looking for a long time for someone to basically confidently tell her that her problem could be fixed, that's all she was looking for. That's literally all she was looking for. And we've had our ups and downs since, but she's sticking to the plan of care, and she's determined to get this issue fixed with me. So that's my long answer to that. All right, Harold, is there any time you have any doubt you can't help them meet their goals? Comorbidities, psychosocial problems. Yeah, so I've got those doubts, and I deal with those doubts on a regular basis, Harold. But here's the thing, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments. Do you all believe that compared to what's out there in the physical therapy profession, that if you have your own concierge practice, do you all believe that you're going to have the time and you're going to be able to put in the effort to put in so much better care than those other options out there? Do you believe that? Tell me yes. Give me a yes, or give me a hands up, or give me an amen, or give me a 100 emoji, whatever. Give me something in the comments. Do you believe that what you currently have right now, no matter what your skill set, if you had the time, do you feel like that you would be able to give more effort than anybody else out there in your community? If you believe that, if you truly believe that, then you have an obligation, Harold, to sell that person on a plan of care, because you should know you're their best bet at getting there. I don't care if you're dry needling certified. I don't care if you've got your OCS. I don't care about those other things that other people may have. I don't have any of those things. I know one thing. I know I care about my patients. I know I'm going to work my ass off to find answers for them. And I know that I'm going to work harder than any physical therapist out there to make sure that they get the answers and they get the progress that they want. We hit a lot of roadblocks and a lot of problems, but I know that I'm the best thing out there for them because I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to be encouraging to them. I'm going to motivate them. I'm going to continue to push them in the right direction. Whether I've got the skills or not, I know that I'm the best option for them. And that's where I think a lot of us have to get to, is to that point. So, all right. Gosh, you guys are making me go on a lot of tangents tonight. Good questions, though. Really good questions. Last one I'm going to answer because I got to get on a podcast. Denise, do you ever deal with patients that are not compliant with your recommendations in HEP? How do you motivate them to make those changes? Simple answer, Denise. This has been the answer to all of my problems with compliance and HEP. Having people pay up front for their visits. And I even tell patients up front, the reason that I have patients pay up front for their visits is because it makes you more compliant, it gives you better results, and honestly, it's a better business structure for me and my family. Those are the 3 reasons that I give every single person. I do not have compliance and HEP issues ever since I went to that model of having patients pay up front for their plan of care and actually being accountable for their health. Not paying from visit to visit, because then that sets them up for failure. That makes it too easy to cancel a visit. It makes it too easy to say, hey, life's getting a little rough. I got to cancel a visit. Oh, guess what? Next week, life's still a little bit rough. I got to cancel another visit. Then all of a sudden, we're 2 weeks down the road and they haven't had a visit. No wonder why they're not making progress. And so my main way of keeping people compliant is having them pay up front. And then my second way is consistently being that person that they can go to by consistently texting them and making sure they're staying on course with what they're trying to do. And so I hope that's, yeah. I said that was the last question I was going to answer, but have you had any patients where you haven't met their outcomes though? What would you do in that scenario? Yes. Harold, great question. And Russell, real quick, yes, that person paid $900 up front. Second question, Harold, have you had any patients where you haven't met their outcomes? Yes, yes, and yes. Like, I'm not perfect. And I'll even tell you guys, I would say, like, skill-wise, I'm a mediocre therapist. But I'm very enthusiastic, and I know how to communicate. I know how to motivate people. And so there's a lot of times that, yeah, outcomes haven't been met. But so far, there hasn't been a single patient, except for one. I did have one patient ask me for a refund. But she was just, honestly, guys, she was just like not a good fit for my practice. It was not a person that I wanted to work at. Oh my goodness. I'll just be honest. I did not want to work with that person. So when she asked for a refund, I was like, yes, 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 take your money. Let's go. Go find somebody else. It was kind of that type of patient. And so basically, what was the question? When you don't meet their outcomes. And so I've never had a person, though, that I haven't met their outcomes that hasn't been satisfied with what they've received up to that point, though. Because we've built a relationship. They know that I've given it everything that I've got. If they ask me a question, I'm going to figure out an answer to that question. If I don't know how to do something, I will actually figure out how to do that thing for them. Like, they know that they're in good hands. And I think that's the biggest thing. Again, mediocre skills, but maximal effort for all of my patients. They know that I'm going to work my ass off to get them better and to basically make sure that they're staying accountable to what they're doing. Do you extend the plan of care? Yeah, of course. But I don't give any discounts. I don't say, oh man, I'm so sorry we didn't get to that lofty goal of yours. I'm going to give you 50% off. No. Like, let's just keep moving forward. I just continue to stay positive. Like, let's move forward. We didn't meet that. That's fine. Like, let's keep pushing forward though. And then I always remind them of the progress that they've made. If it's not here, maybe it's here. And I constantly remind them of that progress and say, hey, we may have not reached here, but we did reach here. So what is it going to look like if we work together another month? So, oh my goodness. Guys, you got good questions. How to communicate better. That's a good idea, Daniel. I'll do that for sure. And then, okay, good. All right, last question. Katrina, how many patient visits a week do you do? I right now we do 18 to 20. Jordan, who's coming into my practice, I think did 7 or 8 visits this week, and then I did 10 visits. But that's my sweet spot now is that 17 to 20 range. For a long time, I did 20 to 25. So that's it. You guys have an awesome night. I'm going to go get on a podcast. Have a great 4th of July. Be careful out there. Have a good time, though. And I'll talk to you guys next Wednesday. See ya.